In this next lecture, we are going to find out the expression of orbital magnetic moment for the case of an electron which is revolving around a nucleus in an atom. So in the previous lecture, we have discussed that an atom has a magnetic moment, and that magnetic moment is due to the orbital motion of electron around the nucleus as well as due to the spin motion of the electron. But in this lecture, we are just going to find out the expression of magnetic moment due to the orbital motion of the electron. So we consider an electron of charge E. So E amount of charge is present on the electron and its mass is equal to small m, and this electron is revolving around the nucleus. So you consider an electron and here is the nucleus. So nucleus is considered to be at the origin of the coordinate system. So this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, and this one is the z-axis. So z-axis is coming out of the paper towards the observer. So this electron is revolving around the nucleus, and we consider that this electron of charge E and mass m, this electron is revolving around the nucleus in the clockwise direction, means in this manner. So this is the motion of electron around the nucleus. And as you can see from the figure that this electron is revolving in a circular motion, and that circular motion is present only in the xy plane. So electron is revolving around the nucleus only in the xy plane. So this electron is revolving around nucleus in circular orbit, and let's consider that radius of the orbit is equal to small r, and it lies in the xy plane in the clockwise direction. So electron is revolving in the clockwise direction, and let's consider v is the speed of the electron. So electron of charge E and mass m is revolving in clockwise direction. It is revolving in clockwise direction with speed is equal to v. So if this electron is revolving around the nucleus, so it is obvious that this will give rise to the flow of current in the circular motion. So if electron is revolving in clockwise direction, then the current will be flowing in this circular loop in anti-clockwise direction, means opposite to the motion of the electron. So if this electron is revolving around nucleus, there will be some time period. So what is the time to complete one revolution? So time period to complete one revolution will be equal to, so time is equal to distance upon speed. So what is the distance which is traveled in one revolution? So distance traveled by this electron in one revolution will be equal to circumference of this circle. So this circle has radius is equal to r. So this distance, this is equal to r vector. So r is the radius of this circular motion and v is the speed of the electron. So what will be the time period? Time period will be equal to distance traveled over the speed. So what is the distance traveled? Distance traveled is equal to the circumference of this circle, and circumference is equal to 2 pi r. So 2 pi r is the distance which is traveled by the electron in this circular motion. Divide by its speed, and its speed is considered to be equal to v. So this is the formula of calculating time to complete one revolution. As we have said that due to the motion of the electron in clockwise direction, this will give rise to the flow of current in this circular orbit in anti-clockwise direction. So current in the orbit represented by capital I. So this I current will be in anti-clockwise direction. So what will be its formula? So we know that current is equal to charge flowing over the time in which that charge is flowing. So charge divided by time, or you can say charge per unit time. So in unit time, whatever amount of charge is flowing, that will be equal to the current which is flowing in that circuit. So in this case, the current in the orbit will be equal to charge divided by the time. So what is the charge which is flowing in one time period? So time period is equal to capital T. So current is equal to charge divided by the time. So time we are considering is the time of one revolution, so that is capital T. And in this T amount of time, what is the charge flowing? So in T amount of time, the charge flowing is just equal to E. So E amount of charge is flowing in one revolution. So E divided by capital T will be equal to current which is flowing in this circular orbit. So now let's substitute the formula of the time period. So this will be equal to E divided by, so time period is 2 pi r divided by V, and that will come in the numerator. So you will get current is equal to EV divided by 2 pi r. So using this formula of current, we are going to find out the expression of magnetic moment of this electron. So magnetic moment of the electron or any charge is given by current times the area vector. So we have already seen the definition of magnetic moment. So that magnetic moment is equal to current times the area enclosed by the loop. So in this case we have this circular loop, and current in this loop is flowing in anti-clockwise direction. And what is the area enclosed? We have supposed that this area of this whole circle is equal to capital A. And over here we have the area vector. So its direction will be in the plus z-axis direction, because the loop is lying in the xy plane and area vector is perpendicular to the surface. So area vector will be pointing in the plus z-axis direction. So area vector can be written as, so this can be written as, the expression of current is EV divided by 2 pi r times the area vector. So area vector can be written as the magnitude times its direction. So what is the magnitude? So this area is, so the area capital A, the magnitude of the area vector, this is the area of this circle, and area of this circle is equal to pi r square. So its magnitude will be pi r square times its direction. As we have said that this loop is lying in the xy plane, so area vector will be pointing in the plus z-axis direction. So its unit vector, or you can say its direction, will be along k cap. So area vector A vector, this can be written as pi r square into k cap. So when you will solve it, when you will simplify it, you will get mu m vector, which is the magnetic dipole moment of this electron, that will come out to be EVR divided by 2 times k cap. So this is the expression that we have got of the orbital magnetic moment of the electron. Now we are going to find out this expression in terms of angular momentum of the electron. So electron is orbiting in the circular motion, so obviously it will have angular momentum, the orbital angular momentum. So the angular momentum is given by r cross p vector, where p is the linear momentum. So r cross p gives you the orbital momentum for the case of a charged particle, and in this case we have the electron. So r is the position vector of the charge. So in this case r vector is this one. So that is represented by curly r vector. So this is the position vector of the electron. So you can write it as r vector cross product with the momentum vector, the linear momentum vector, and linear momentum has its formula equal to m into v, and in vector form it is given by p vector is equal to m times v vector. So this linear momentum vector can be written as m times v vector, and this m is the mass of the electron, so this can be taken outside this cross product. So this can be written as m times r cross v vector. Now over here this electron, So let's consider this is the electron and this is the origin. So this vector is the position vector of the electron and it is represented by curly r vector. And what is this v vector? This is the speed, or you can say this is the velocity. So speed is represented by just v, and v vector will be the velocity of the electron. And as we have said that electron is moving in the clockwise direction, it is rotating in the clockwise direction. So the velocity vector v vector at this point will be pointing in this direction, means tangential. So this will be the direction of the velocity vector at this point. So at this point the velocity vector will be pointing in this direction. So when you will solve this cross product, this will come out to be m times, now what is a cross b? A cross b is equal to ab sine theta times n cap. So over here a vector is equal to r vector and b vector is equal to v vector. So that will be equal to m into ab sine theta times the direction, and over here if you will find the direction, that will come out to be equal to minus k cap. So that is very easy to find. So this is the direction of r cross v vector. So r cross v vector will be pointing in minus k cap. Now what is r vector? R vector is this one and v vector is this one. So let's join the tail of these two vectors, means you will extend this r vector in the forward direction like this. So you will join the tail of these two vectors. So this is the r vector and this is the v vector. So if you will curl your fingers of the right hand, if you will curl your fingers from r vector towards v vector, from r vector towards v vector, if you will curl your fingers of the right hand, then your thumb will be pointing in the minus k cap direction. So the thumb will be pointing in the minus k cap, means in the along the minus z axis direction. So over here we have r cross v, means you have to curl your finger from r vector towards v vector. So if you will curl your fingers in this manner, then the thumb will be pointing inwards, means in this direction, in the minus k cap direction. So its direction, its unit vector will be equal to minus k cap and its magnitude will be equal to rv sine theta. And over here you can see that at every point on this circular motion, at every point r vector and v vector, they will be making an angle of 90 degrees with each other. So in this case also you can see that this is the position of the electron, this is the r vector and this is the v vector. So there is an angle of 90 degrees in between these two vectors. So sine of 90 degree will be there at all the points on this circular motion. So this L vector for the case of electron will be equal to m into r into v. Sine 90 degree is equal to 1 and you have minus k cap. Now in this formula of magnetic dipole moment, let's multiply and divide by small m, because you have over here m into r into v and here you have just v into r. So you will multiply and divide by small m. So what you will get? You will get E into mvr divide by 2 times k cap as well as divide by m. So we have multiplied and divided by small m. So this mvr k cap will be equal to minus of L vector. So mu m vector can be rewritten as E by 2m as it is. Then mvr times k cap, this can be written as minus of L vector. So the magnetic dipole moment has come out to be equal to minus E divided by 2m times L vector. So this is the formula of magnetic dipole moment in terms of orbital angular momentum of the electron. So from this formula you can see that mu m vector and L vector, they are pointing in opposite directions, and that can be seen from this negative sign. So this negative sign shows that the direction of magnetic dipole moment of the orbiting electron, this is in the opposite direction to that of the angular momentum. So the orbital angular momentum and the magnetic dipole moment for the case of an electron are always pointing in the opposite directions. So in this particular case, when electron is revolving in clockwise direction, the L vector was pointing in minus k cap, means the L vector is pointing inside the paper, and mu m vector, it is pointing along plus k cap, means it is pointing towards the observer, or you can say it is pointing outside the paper. So mu m vector and L vector, they are in the opposite directions for the case of an electron, and for the case of any negatively charged particle, this is the same case that you get, means mu m vector and L vector will be pointing in the opposite directions for the case of a negatively charged particle. But for the case of a positively charged particle, for example a proton, so for that case mu m vector and L vector, they will be pointing in the same direction. So for the case of electron, these both vectors will be pointing in the opposite directions. Now if you will write this formula in the magnitude form, so this is the final formula that we have got of orbital magnetic moment of the electron. So if you will write it in magnitude form, you will get mu m is equal to E divided by 2m times L. So just in magnitude form, we have written mu m is equal to E by 2m times L. Now according to Bohr theory, so this you might have studied in your high school, that Bohr theory states that electron revolves only in those orbits whose angular momentum, the orbital angular momentum is integral multiple of h divided by 2 pi. So this is the postulate of Bohr theory. This is one of the postulates of Bohr theory, that electrons, they orbit only in those orbits whose angular momentum comes out to be integral multiple of h divided by 2 pi, and h divided by 2 pi is generally denoted as h cut. So h cut means h divided by 2 pi. So L must be equal to nh cut. So over here also you can substitute L as nh cut. So this will be equal to E by 2m times nh cut. So this n, which is integral value, so this n can be taken on the left hand side like this. So you will get Eh cut divided by 2m. So this equation shows us that the magnetic moment of the electron is quantized. So it is an integral multiple of this factor. That means the orbital magnetic moment for the case of an electron is quantized. So n will take values from 1, 2, 3 and so on. Now this particular factor that we have written, Eh cut by 2m, so h cut is equal to h by 2 pi. So this Eh cut by 2m has a very special name, and this is called as Bohr magneton. So this factor Eh cut by 2m is called as Bohr magneton, and it is represented by mu b. So in this equation, if you will put n is equal to 1, then mu m will come out to be just equal to Eh cut by 2m, and that is called as Bohr magneton, and that is represented by mu b. So when you will solve it, means over here when you will substitute all these values for the case of an electron. So for the case of an electron, the charge is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. Then h cut, you can calculate its value. So h is the Planck's constant, and you have to divide by 2 pi. Then you have divide by 2 times the mass of the electron. So mass of the electron is 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kilograms. So when you will substitute all these values, then you will get the value of Bohr magneton as 9.37 into 10 power minus 24 ampere meter square. So these are the units of Bohr magneton. So over here you can see that this n is an integer. So n is an integer, so you can write this equation as mu m is equal to n times mu b. So from this equation you can see that this n is an integer, so it does not have any unit. So the units of Bohr magneton will be the same as that of the magnetic dipole moment. So we have seen in the previous lecture that magnetic dipole moment has SI units which are ampere meter square. So Bohr magneton will also have the same units which are ampere meter square.